Hey guys, welcome to another session in Get Into Tech. Welcome to today's session in Get Into Tech. It's good to have you here. If you are just joining us for the first time, you are very, very much welcome, and you are in the right place. If your goal this year is to learn several tech skills and get started in a specific career path in tech. So the Get Into Tech initiative or program, was created to help you get the needed clarity, knowledge, and a roadmap, that will enable you get started in any of 12 career paths, top career paths in tech, right? So these 12 career paths were carefully selected, and that is what this program is focused on. Now, how do we do this? We get experts in each of these career paths basically to come on and share their stories, share their journeys, right? How they started out, how it was for them, learning, growing their skills, developing their skills, how they got their tech jobs and tech roles, both locally and internationally, and how they've been able to do the strides, how they've been able to stay innovative in those skill paths. And so the idea is that from what they share, you would be able to get all the needed and required knowledge and clarity to start your own journey. That is what the Get Into Tech program is about. Now, today's session is on video editing, right? Video editing is actually the main title, but we're looking at video creation, video editing, and video production. How can you start a tech? How can you start and build a tech career in this role? And today we're going to have a very exceptional, expert, guest in person of Anie Greatman. He's going to be joining us shortly, right? This is the 6th session. We have covered 5 tech career paths already. We've covered web development, we've covered product management, product design, blockchain, technology. And web design, right? So we've covered 5 career paths. If you've missed any of them, just go, down this channel, go down to the videos in this channel. You'd be able to access them and watch them. Like I said, today's session is on video editing, video creation, and video production. Now, before we call our guest up, I want to say 1 or 2 quick things. Tech is a new oil. I'm sure you've heard that quote. Tech is a new oil. Now, if you're online and listening to me, before I go on, I'd like you to drop like we always like to do. Drop in the comments where you are joining us from. Where are you joining us from? Drop in the comments. Lagos, Nigeria, Abuja, Nigeria, the London, UK, France, Japan, Brazil. Drop, and we would like to know where you are connecting with us, from tonight. Now, going on real quickly, tech is new oil. I'm sure you've heard that quote. And I want to tell you that for every single thing that you learn in this session, for every single thing that you get to hear in these sessions, it will do you no good. That information, those facts will do you no good unless you're able to come to the place where you put in some practice. Now, let me tell you a quick story. Over the weekend, somebody whom I know, like a junior acquaintance or friend, came up to me very excited and happy and all that. Why? He wanted to learn a new skill. What was that skill? He wanted to become a blockchain developer. So he wanted to go into blockchain technology. We've had a session on that where we called the founder of Muna, Chukuka, to talk about the blockchain space and the tech roles available there. You can check the channel for that video. So he comes to me and says he wants to become a blockchain developer. There's excitement on his face. And, he needs my help. He needs my counsel on how he can get started. Now, in the past, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, when somebody comes like that to me, there's this excitement in me as well. And, I'm like, oh, wow, you want to learn this? Okay, that is awesome. This. But currently, my current state, right? I'm not so much excited anymore. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, so he comes to me and says he wants to become a blockchain developer. And I'm like, okay, that's good. And where can you get started from? I, pulled up to YouTube, showed him our session, what we had on blockchain technology, which is actually an introductory session, right? And told him to watch that video first. And then I did a search on YouTube and recommended, about 3-4 other introductory videos for him. Now, that was the first step. And then the next step was for him him actually learning how to code, learning the programming languages that are relevant in the blockchain space. And for that, I pulled up YouTube again and, searched for blockchain development courses. And guess what? I found about 6 of them. In fact, one of them was 16 hours long. 16 hours long, right? Other ones were 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. And when I did that, he was wowed. And then this is the first thing I want to tell you while I'm telling this story. I showed him the videos and he was wowed. And I said, in this current times we're in this current modern times we're in, if you want to learn a digital skill, you do not have an excuse. Do you understand? If you're on this life and you've been wanting to learn a particular tech skill, money is not even a problem. Because if you really want to learn it, if you check platforms like YouTube, Udemy, you're going to find full free courses that will get you skilled up to the levels you need to be. And so I showed him the videos and it was wild. And I said, see, this, if you want to become a blockchain developer, this is what you need to do. Get these introductory videos and watch them. And then go on to take on these free full courses and, get skilled up. And then I told him that, listen to me, you have no excuse. I told him to his face, you've come to me and I know you're excited, but I'm not really excited because a lot of people, the true test that you really want to learn your skill is that you are able to put in the work. The true test that you are really, really interested in learning a skill is that you are able to put in the work, right? You do not have an excuse. Money is not an excuse. If you need free courses out there, there are free courses out there that will put you, that will get you skilled up and would show you the right path to go. And so in concluding my story, what am I trying to say? It's not enough to want to learn a skill, right? The true test that you really want to learn that skill is that you are able to put in the work. Now, as we discussed further, something he said, we got to a point and then he talked about how where he currently lives, there's no internet and how internet is actually bad. And for that, I sympathized with him because I understand living in a place that has bad internet. But then again, I was very clear. If you really want to learn this skill, you are going to find a way to get good internet and learn this course, right? There are no excuses. Your internet is bad. There are 2 options for you. I don't know if there's anyone on live now who has been in a situation where in your house there are particular spots that have internet, and so if you really want to access the internet, you have to go to one spot and stand there or sit there. When you take a step out of there, you lose internet connection. So I told him, I don't know if that's your case, right? But you find out, are there spots in your house that have great internet? If there are any spots like that, those have to become the spots for you over the next 6 months as you put in the effort to learn the skill. And then if you don't have those spots, that's fine. That's bad, but that's fine. It means that you're going to have to leave your house, go somewhere else close by. It could be a cafe, it could be some business center, it could be somewhere else basically, where you're going to have great internet and where you can learn. But the lack of internet in your immediate vicinity is no excuse. Now, why am I going over this long story? The internet today has afforded anyone, and I repeat, anyone, old, young, male, female, the chance to learn a digital skill. Now, what Get Into Tech is doing for you, is that it is, it is bringing the process of learning those skills closer to you. It is making it easier. Some of the people we've brought for sessions are founders, of companies that are doing well on a global scale. Right? One of the experts we brought, right, has a company that's doing 6 figures, 7 figures in dollars, right? And so some other persons we're bringing, are people that work in, top global brands, around the world, right? So what Get In Tech is doing, it is bringing the process of learning those skills closer to you, right? And so, like I said, if you've missed any sessions, go down to the videos below the channel to watch them. We are still waiting for, I'm still waiting for our expert to join us. He's going to join us shortly. We are going to take a short break, and then when we come back, he's going to be on, and then we're going to have the session. We're going to continue with the session. Okay, he's on already. He's on.
I can't. Hold on.
Anie, okay. He's having a network glitch. So basically, today's session is actually for everyone. You are going to be learning how you can, even if you don't want to go into professional video creation career or video editing or animations career or 3D modeling career, right? Today's session would be very valuable for you because you'd learn how you can easily create video content, how you can create professional video content. You learn how you can edit your own videos yourself, right? So you would not have to take hundreds of thousands to pay a video editor and all that. So you learn how to create your own video content, edit your own video content, and also possibly learn 3D animations. Hello, Anie.
Yeah, what's up?
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
It's good to have you on.
Oh yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay. So we would get right into it. Like I said, we're talking video production, creation, and editing. We have Anie Greatman, on. He's the founder of Animation Studios. Like I have said in our community, he's responsible for animation adverts for top brands around the country, as well as video editing and production for a number of celebrities around the country as well. So I'm just going to be Anie, I'm just going to leave the floor for you to talk about your journey in the video space, and to give a roadmap for those who would like to pursue this professionally. You have the floor.
Journey. I would say that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I think the network is breaking. So the thing is, like, you can't really say. I can't really say like the journey in all in one word, because there are like a whole lot. It's kind of long, and I'm still trying to make sure that you can hear me, because like I have issues with my connections.
We can hear you clearly.
Oh, okay,
yeah, loud and clear. Go on. Yeah.
Okay, that's better. Okay, so the journey, yeah. I would say it started like when I was small, because when I was way younger, I think I was like around 5, 6. Me and my brother, we used to shoot with phones. We used to pay my dad, like, I think I can remember a time that we paid my dad like 20 naira, to use his phone. Because there's this time that we used the phone. I don't know if, for some people that know that that time, like if you're using a phone that's not original, they used to call it China phone. And so we're doing. I'll film him, and then later he'll film me. So there was the time that there was a point where I filmed and I mistakenly pressed the pause button, and then when he left the shot, and I played and I started it back, it seemed as though he disappeared. So we were like, we discovered something big, we discovered something big. So we now started doing the whole disappearing and appearing thing and all that. And then we started using phone. Because most times I hear people say that, because I don't have this computer spec, I don't have this particular system that is this level. I can't do this, I can't do that. Because we started with phone. Then after that, I had a Sony Ericsson phone. Then I started using that because they had a video editing app on it. So I used to use it to like edit and stuff. We both used it to do a whole lot of stuff. Then after that, Symbian phone now came out. I don't know if you know Symbian phone. But then Symbian phone now came out, and I don't know if it's possible that I can see you on the video because it seems like I'm just talking to myself. Like I'm doing the selfie video. Can you hear me?
Go on. Yeah, go on. You're loud and clear. Just go on. Go on. Don't worry.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I need to see you on the video because so it doesn't feel like I'm talking to myself. Do you understand?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that'll be done shortly. But go on. That'll be done shortly. That'll be done. Go on.
Oh, okay. So, Symbian phone now came out, and then we started using Symbian phone because their video editing capacity was way much better than the normal using Java to do all that stuff. So, after that one, Android phone came out, and we started using Android phone. Like the video capability was way much higher on that one. So we used Android phone to do a whole lot of stuff. Then fast forward to 2015. 2015, I had an admission, and that was the first time I had a laptop. And the laptop, I'm trying to like round up everything because I don't know how to say a whole lot of stuff. So 2015, I had a laptop, and because I went into university, and that was my first laptop. And the laptop was, I don't know if you know plug and play laptop. That before they take light, actually the laptop goes up before they take light because there was no battery. The battery that was there before wasn't working that much. Wasn't working that much. So I used that to the first time I used the video editing software. That was After Effects. And when I installed it, I didn't really understand it because everything was looking complicated. So I now deleted it. Then later on, I met this guy. His name is Edwin, and he gave me a software. He gave me the After Effects software. I told him I've had this software before. That everything is looking complicated. I don't really understand it. So he said, okay, that he will give me tutorials so that I can learn. That he wants me to do something for him with the software. So I now got the software. I learned the software, small. The first software I actually learned was Photoshop because I saw something online on Google how to edit, how to make your picture look stunning. So I now went through the tutorial. It was like a read tutorial. So it wasn't like video like YouTube. It wasn't like that. So I now followed the tutorial and I did the picture. From there, I now got into After Effects. Then started then I now went to 3D. For me to even get into 3D, this group I was in, and the guy, because they put me on the group as a designer, like to help with design and stuff like that. So they were like that they want us to make a logo. So they told me and the guy to make a logo. I did a logo, it was 2D flat. Then the guy did a logo, it was 3D. So me, I was like surprised, like how did he make it possible? How was it possible that he could make the logo look 3D? So I was wondering how he did it. I tried using Photoshop to do it, but there's a level to you can get in 3D in Photoshop. I was just trying to manipulate the whole thing to look like 3D, but I know that it wasn't really that much. So I asked him, he was not like there's a software called Cinema 4D that I should try the software. So I now went to the software, I started learning the software. Then I watched a lot of tutorials. invested any small money I have. I'll buy. I used to buy night plan because night plan is way more cheaper to get. So I used to buy 100 naira night plan, 20 naira night plan. I mean, downloading tutorials, download tutorials upon tutorial. Like any small money I have, I spend it on tutorial. And like at that point, yeah, it was good for me because I didn't know that there were systems that, because my system was like, I think it was 518, 512. The RAM was 512 MB. So it was very slow. But the fact that I didn't know that it's supposed to be faster, I think that actually helped me because I didn't know that okay, the system that if you just click render, it takes like 2 minutes to finish rendering because my rendering should take like 30 minutes for one small rendering. So and that actually helped me. First software I got before I even got the Cinema 4D, I saw a software called Blender. I tried Blender, but when I rendered it took so much time. So I actually thought it was the software that had problem until the guy now told me about the Cinema 4D. And I tried Cinema 4D, and it was slow, no doubt, but I didn't really feel it because to me, I was feeling it's normal, it's not about the software, it's not about the computer, it's just about that's how the thing is. So I now learned the Cinema 4D, and there's this time, fast forward to 2017. No, 2017, yeah, 2017. I met somebody and I shot a music video for the person and I did a ton lot of effects on the video. And one guy that I knew before, he's a dancer. His name is Flex from that time. So he now saw the video and was like, that he saw this video, blah blah blah. He would like me to like do his video that is coming up because he sings, but because he's a dancer, so like he dances as well. So and now when I was like, okay, he came to school because I was in school. So he now came to school. We met, talked about it, and then I shot the video for him. And then in 2019, I came to Lagos. When I came to Lagos, there was the time that he now called me and said that there's this guy, his name is WG, that I should message him and then that I should tell him that I would like to do stuff for him. I would like to like be working for him and do stuff for him. To me, I was like, okay, no problem. And I called the guy, told him I would like to do stuff for him. And the guy was like, okay, no problem. Then he had a video to shoot and he shot the video. Then he now told me that he wanted me to do effects on the video, which I did. And then he posted it, tagged me, his friend saw it, one of his friends messaged me, then called me to do a work for him. And I did the work for him. It was nice. Then I think that's basically how everybody got to know me. So basically it was just based on recommendations. You get like I do something for this person and this person likes it. Then you tell them this, you tell someone else, or someone else sees the job and like, who did this thing for you? He mentioned me. So that's basically how, I don't know if I've been able to, if I made justice to the whole journey thing. So,
well, okay, great story, great story, great story. So the question, I'm going to, because of time, basically, and all that, we started this a little late. I'm going to ask you a number of questions, which will now bring the details we need out of this. So great story. Something I caught from what you said is when you were learning this, you invested a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
Data.
Sorry. Yeah. There were times that I'll be in the house. Here because I used to stay like I can stay in there for 3 days like without going out. Sometimes they will leave the house and lock the door, not knowing that I'm inside. Because I gave like all my time, like I sacrificed everything for it inside. When they now come back and they now open my room and they see me inside, they'll be like, they be shouting like you were inside, and I'm like, yeah, I was inside. So that's it.
Okay, awesome. I like that, right? So that caught my attention, and if you're online, I want to put this to you that whatever tech skill or tech career path you want to follow, there's a prerequisite. There's one among several prerequisites for success in that, or for growth in that, and that is you're going to have to put in time and resources, money, to get materials that help you get better. Now, Anie, I want to ask you a question. From what you've said, you've talked about different things. You've talked about animation, You've talked about effects, which I think refers to VFX effects or something. You've talked about shooting a musical video, for example. So my question is this: how many skills or potential career paths are in this particular field? Do you understand? Like how many skills potentially are in this field, which I believe from what you've said, which are skills that you have, most of them, from what you've explained. So what are those specific skills in the whole video thing that somebody can stand up today, choose to focus on, learn, and grow, or somebody else might choose to learn several of them to be more complete? So what are those different parts in the video space?
Before you go into visual production, I always tell people you can be like, okay, I want to learn visual effects. I want to learn 3D animation. I want to learn
That's
that. I
true.
want to learn that. Yeah, I always tell people that it's like it's better, though you may not have need for them, but it's better to start with video editing, because
Video
video
editing.
editing,
Okay.
yes. When I say video editing, I mean taking video, cutting, and then merging them together to
Okay.
create something. So I always tell people to learn that first, because that's like the basics, the basis for like for every little thing that has to do with visual effects. Like there's a whole lot of knowledge that if you don't have that
Okay.
knowledge, it will affect every other thing down the line. You get? So you
Okay.
have to
Can you help
learn.
us? Can you help us list and define all these things? What is visual effects, for example? What is video editing? What is 3D
Visual
animation? Okay.
video editing is a big word. It contains everything that has to do with visual production. It is everything that has to do with anything that you can see. Is video editing, that you can simplify it to cutting images, cutting footages, putting them together. We see it every day on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. We see it every day. Then there's visual effects. There are types of effect. There's visual effects. There's special effects. Visual effects is the one you use your computer to create. For example, let me say someone stepped on a mine and it exploded. They know very well that they can't do this thing on set. You get, because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because it's dangerous. So they will get someone that knows how to do visual effect. So the person will create the explosion on the system on his or her computer virtually. You get, and then place it on the video in a way that it looks real, because there's a whole lot of visual effect. Not all of them looks real, but the essence of visual effect is the ability to create an effect visually and then add it on the footage to make it look real. Then there's special effects. There are some explosions. There are some things that is better is done on set so that the actors can interact with them in real time and it makes it look more real. You get, there are some explosions that they can still do on set. So those ones that are done on set by people is called special effects. Example, let me say explosions, wound on the body, and blood and all that. It can be done physically, so that's special effect. Then the visual effect that is done with the help of a computer. Then there is animation. There's CGI. The difference between CGI and visual effect. Visual effect is taking something that has already been made, you get, and then putting it on a footage. I don't know if you can if you understand. But for example, you need to shoot, you need to make somebody, for example, this is this, yeah, and this particular phone is not here. So you can shoot this phone separately, and then you shoot this one separately, and then you put them together. That's visual effect. Then CGI fully means computer generated imagery, which means that it does not exist. So you are creating it with your computer for it to look like it actually exists. You are creating it from scratch or whatever way you want to use. But visual effects is you take something that already exists and put it with something that already exists to make it feel like they belong. You get.
Yeah.
Then there's animation, there are different types of animation, there's motion graphics, all those advert jingles, visual jingles and all that. That's motion graphics. Then there's also cartoon animation, there's character animation that you watch cartoons every day, Tom and Jerry, 2D animation, 3D animation. So that's basically, I don't know if I've answered your question.
Okay. Yeah, that's been very enlightening, very much. So let me test myself. You mentioned CGI, you mentioned 3D animations, of which there are several types, including motion graphics. You
Yeah,
mentioned video editing, not proper itself. You mentioned visual effects,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so all of these basically are specific areas that people can focus in when it comes to the video space. Now, so
yeah.
next question I have is, you mentioned that you always recommend that people start their learning with video editing. So my question is, how can you learn? So let's say I'm a newbie who doesn't know anything about, doesn't know jack about video editing or something.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the best means, or how can I learn video editing? How can I grow that skill, and how long would it take?
Okay. Time isn't a factor in learning. It depends on the person
Okay.
that is learning. So let me start with that one first. Then there are different mediums in which you can learn. People have different ways to learn. Some people feel that they need that physical interaction with the teacher to be able to learn. Okay, then there is also visual learning. That's YouTube, any platform that you know that you can learn, YouTube, courses online, Udemy, Google, like there are so many ways to learn. So I advise people that anyone that fits with you, whether it's visual learning, whether it's YouTube, whether it's courses that you have to pay for, just go online and just search for them. Also, you need, first of all, when you know what you want to learn, because first of all, it has to be passion. Don't go and say you want to learn something because somebody is doing it and you want to follow. You need to first have the passion for it. You get, there have to be that passion, because without that passion, you're just wasting your time. At a point, you get tired of doing it. So you need to know that it's your passion. Then also you need to search for softwares that are used for these skills. For example, there are softwares used for animation. It's not the same software you use for motion graphics, not the same software you use for video editing, not the same software you use for photo editing. There are different softwares and there are so many. So you have to also research on their capabilities and which one is easier for you to learn. Because first of all, you need to know how easy it is to learn. Then you can go on with any other one. You can
Can
start
you
with anyone,
recommend any?
even if it's hard.
Can you
Also, I don't
recommend
like
any?
I don't like recommending. I'll mention a couple because I don't want to fix
Okay,
it in your
please.
head that this is the best you get. Because yeah, at the
Okay.
end of the day, it's not about the software. It's you that is using the software. I've seen people use way much lower software to do things that people that are using so-called industry standard softwares can't do. So for video editing, yeah, there is Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro. There is Final Cut, there is Da Vinci. So I would recommend those three. So just go through them and make research on them and pick which one is better for you. Then for visual effects, there is After Effects, there is Nuke, there is still Da Vinci as well, because Da Vinci has a section called Fusion. So you can use Fusion to do your visual effects. So I would say Foundry. So I'll say After Effects, Nuke, and Foundry. So those three ones for visual effects.
Okay.
Then for animation, there are two types of animation. There's 2D animation and there's also 3D animation. So for 2D animation, you can still use After Effects. You can use Mojo. You can use Anime. Anime Studio. There's a couple of them, but that three is like very good. So just pick any of them. Then for 3D animation, there is a whole lot. There's Cinema 4D, there is Blender, and in no category that they are the best. So there's Blender, Cinema 4D, Maya, 3ds Max, which one again? There's Dance Studio, there is Re-Illusion, there's there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot. But these five, I think I mentioned five, Abby. Cinema 4D, Blender,
Okay, yeah.
Maya, 3ds Max, Dance Studio. There's a whole lot. There's a whole lot. But these
Okay.
five, just pick any of them. Then also, sorry, yeah, there's Houdini. I forgot to mention that there's Houdini, and each of these software they have their they have their they have I don't know what language to use, what word to use, but each of them have their own specialties. You get, they have their own specialties and they have what
Okay.
like they are very good in. Doesn't mean that you cannot use them for other stuff. For example, Cinema 4D. Cinema 4D started as a um, motion graphics software. So people still till today still think that it's basically just for motion graphics. You can't use it to do animation, you can't use it to do this, you can't use it to do simulation. You can actually use Cinema 4D for everything that you want to use it for. It just depends on you. You get. And there is Blender. When Blender came out, they were like, it's called Blender is actually free. You don't have to pay anything for it. It's an open source
Oh,
so
okay.
source software. So people thought that because it's
Yeah.
open source, you can't use it for big budgets. You can't use it for big budgets and films and animation and stuff, but you can actually use Blender to do anything at all, like literally anything. They use them now for movies and stuff. So, and any other thing that you want to use it for, for motion graphics, for animation, you can use it to do both 2D animation and 3D animation and stuff. So then there's Maya. Maya has been there like from the starts, you get, and it's like one of the software they use like in all time. Most movies that you've seen, most big movies, they use Maya, both from the time like 1990 something. They've been using it before all these other ones. So there's Maya, there's 3D and 3ds Max. Maya is good in literally everything. 3ds Max is good, but it's a little bit outdated. But that doesn't mean that you can't use it to do anything you want to do. There's Houdini that its main power is in simulations to create fire, to create smoke, to create sand, anything that is simulation, fluid and stuff. But that doesn't mean you can't to do every other thing you get. So, but things
Okay.
like the main thing, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. You've totally killed this, right? So guys, I'm not going to attempt to call all those softwares you called. I'm not going to bother myself, right? But guys, I'm sure that you've been noting them and writing them down. I'm sure you've been noting the softwares basically and all that. They are going to be very useful, just as he has called it for the specific things or specific tasks you want to do in the video space.
sorry,
Now,
sorry, I'm seeing,
okay,
sorry, I'm seeing on the screen,
okay,
nuke. It's actually Nuke.
okay,
Nuke
NUK,
for the nuke.
nuke, okay, nuke,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, exactly.
okay,
Then sorry, let me just
okay.
put this up
No, no problem.
because
Yeah.
I didn't really dive into video editing. For video editing, you can use Premiere Pro, like I said, Premiere Pro, Final Cut, and DaVinci. DaVinci is very good in color grading. You can see it to do video editing and visual effect and stuff, but its main power that it was created for was for color grading. Most, I can tell you that most films, most music videos, most standard films you see, they use DaVinci for color grading. That's like the standard
Oh wow.
for color grading.
Okay.
Then there's Premiere Pro. You can still use Premiere Pro to do color grading and all that, but its power, like it doesn't have as much expansed settings and tools. The tools for color grading in Premiere Pro is limited compared to DaVinci, because Premiere Pro is
Okay.
mainly for video editing and all that, effects and stuff like that. Then Adobe Premiere Pro also links with you can connect it with After Effects. So as you're working, you can work hand in hand to do your effects, and then
Okay.
it's showing on Premiere Pro like a dynamic link. Then I mentioned Final Cut. Final Cut also you can use it to do color grading, you can use it to do editing. So just know which one suits what you want to use it for. Then you go for that. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's it.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So guys in the audience, please, you can start. Let your questions start coming in. Let your questions start coming in. And before we start taking questions from those online viewing, I have two quick questions. And when you were speaking, you talked about having your first laptop, and when you began this journey was 512 RAM, size of RAM. And I actually laughed when you said to, because obviously it's power. The memory it has to take your applications, heavy applications, is limited.
Yeah.
So from your experience, what is a good laptop? So somebody, let's say on a live session, wants to take this seriously, or several persons and want to get started. How important is it having the proper tool? And that's like a computer, a desktop, a laptop, and what are the best specifications for a good laptop or desktop that would enable one launch into video editing or 3D animations, for example, special effects and all that? What are specifications like?
Okay. First of all, it depends on what software you want to be using and what area you want to focus on. Because the capacity you need for a software that is meant for video editing is different from the capacity you need for a software that you want to use for photo editing or animation or simulation. You get? So you need to know which one to use first. You get? Then somehow I always say that it doesn't matter. You get? But for the sake of formality, for the sake of this is the standard, I would say that your RAM needs to be at least minimum of 8 gig RAM for your RAM. Then for hard drive, obviously you need to get like 500 gig and above, because that depends on how much thing you want to be storing inside. But I always advise that it's better not to store stuff inside your computer. It's better to have an external hard drive where you store your stuff, because the more stuff you have on your hard drive in your computer, it will also at some point it will delay the system processing, especially if the drive that you are storing your
Slow it
software, the
down.
same
Yeah.
drive, yeah, if it's the same drive you are storing your files, video, and all that, you may not remember to be optimizing the hard drive. So that's going to slow down a whole lot of stuff. So it's better to only store the software you're using on the computer, then store every other thing, files and documents on external drive, maybe some little things inside your own hard drive. Then for storage devices, it's better to use SSD. SSD is way much faster than a normal hard drive, and it helps you speed up your computer in sense that your application opens fast, and it runs way much faster in loading programs. SSD loads program way much faster than a normal hard drive would. Then the most important thing in video editing in a computer
Okay.
is the graphics card. That's the most important thing, because you can change every other thing, yeah, but you can't change if you're using a laptop,
Yeah.
you can't change the graphics card. But if you're using a desktop, you can change the graphics card. That's why I also recommend people to get desktops way much better than laptops. It's good to have a laptop in case you are going out. So you're going out for something, you carry your laptop, when you get back home, you can change everything and transfer everything to your desktop. Because desktop has a much ability to handle heavy work, in the sense that it can stay for you can work on a desktop for like 3 days and without turning off the desktop, and you won't have any problem, because it has heavy fans that can help cool the system. So it's better to get desktop, and then you can get a desktop and then customize it, build your desktop to what you wanted. Okay, this is how many RAM I want. You can go out and get this amount of RAM. You can also get this amount of hard drive. You can get this particular graphics card. So yeah, that's on system base. So I said 8 gig RAM minimum, 500 gig hard drive minimum, 250 SSD minimum. What else again? Yeah, make sure it's like Core i5 and above. Core i5 and above, 8th generation or 7th generation. Then I think that's basically it. But I always advise get if you want to dedicate your time for visual production, I advise people get a desktop that you have, that you know that this is what you're going to be using in case there's a heavy job, you get, so that you won't, because I've used like so many laptops in my life that at the end of the day, because I do animation and I do rendering a whole lot, most of those laptops they burn down. Either you hear that the motherboard has issue, there was too much heat for the CPU and it crashed, and then you have to repair it from time to time and all that. So if you are going, you can still use your laptop to do your animation and all that. You don't need to be like, okay, until I get a desktop. You can use your laptop to do your animation, but just be careful the amount of load you are willing to give it. You can use to do your normal animation, cartoon, but when it has to do with heavy rendering, I believe when you get into animation, 3D animation, especially 3D animation and simulation, you will know how much load your system can carry. So at that point, you will know. You won't have, nobody will have to tell you that, okay, this is what your system can carry and all that. So for 2D animation, any
Okay.
system with 4 gig RAM hard drive can carry. But that doesn't mean that you can't use, because like I said, I used a 512 MB RAM to work. You get, doesn't mean that if you have that amount that you can't still do work with it. It's just that it's just going to be way slower than you would use a system with a higher spec you get to work on. So
Yeah.
that's basically it. Then also for system, for laptop based brand type, if you have money, if you have money, go for MSI, go for Predator, go for HP Pavilion Gaming 15 and above, go for Dell, go for I think that's it. That's it. Like for brand type,
No, no,
HP.
no Apple laptops.
Oh, I forgot. You can use Apple. You can literally use any system, but Apple laptop is also very good because number one, Apple laptops are very good in the display and also its speed and stuff. So it's so much good because it will help you with your visuals and all that. Apple laptop is like top notch. Yeah. So sorry I missed that one. That's very important.
All right. Awesome. 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 Very, very detailed response. Thank you so much. So quick. My second question, very quickly, in
Okay.
please answer this in like 1-2 minutes. Then we can take questions from the audience.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Sorry.
if, for example, I want to learn video editing right now, let's say I want to begin tonight, where can I go online to start to learn, both free and paid? I want to start learning right now from tonight, right? Where,
Okay.
so can you point me to online destinations where I can start learning right now? And
Okay. So if you want to learn for free, there is YouTube, there's Udemy, there are free courses on Udemy. Then if you want to learn for paid, there are also paid courses in Udemy. There are so many other learning platforms that you can pay money to learn. So for free, there's YouTube and there's Udemy. Then for paid, there's also Udemy as well. So that's basically, like if you literally go online now, yeah, hold on. No. If you go to YouTube now, for example, let me say how to edit on, for example, Premiere Pro for beginners. I just click search on my phone. See, basic lessons. I don't know if you can see it. See, basic
okay.
lessons. Like there's a whole lot of it. There's a whole lot of it. So
Okay.
for free, this is YouTube. Then for paid,
YouTube.
Udemy.
Okay.
And I don't know a lot of the major learning platforms, but I know Udemy very well. So there's Udemy, there's also YouTube. So pick one this night and learn it.
Awesome. I like that. I like how you ended. Okay, so I like to ask experts that come on. Are you taking mentees? Do you have a course? Do you have a book? Are you taking? Are you taking students? Do you have any audience currently? So people who are interested in this can rush to get one of your products or apply or something.
The thing is, yeah, I've had so many people DMs and stuff that they want to learn from me. But the problem I have right now is that I don't have the time to say I want to start teaching now. Like I have like a ton of people that want to learn. But the time is like I've literally had people like schools call me and be like, I can like come teach. I've had school from UK saying that they have an
Wow.
online platform that they would like me to teach as well. Some of them say that they can establish a branch here in Lagos to learn, but I don't have the time because when the time is right, I know I'll do that. So, but for now, I'm not taking anybody for now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Straight to the point. So can you tell us very, very briefly about Animation Studios? What do you do? And then share your social media platforms because I know that share your personal social media platforms with us, so people can go on to follow you. I know that you post a lot of your work there, your animation, your music videos, what you work on, and all that stuff. So tell us quickly about in 1 minute about Animation Studios and then social media platforms for people to go follow you on.
Animation studios, as the name says, it's basically animation. Because even videos that you watch, videos are actually pictures. They are just pictures that are being put together. So that's somehow an animation. So anything visuals is what Animation Studios is about. And I don't have a lot of workouts right now because I'm still building. So yeah, but for my personal page, you just go type on Anie Greatman. That's ANIE Greatman on Instagram. I'm not on LinkedIn. I tried joining LinkedIn, but
Okay,
every time I try, they will
Instagram.
block me.
Okay.
I don't even think. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. Then I have like I've tried so many times to like get back the account. It doesn't work. I'll use another line to like open it, another email. I don't know what the problem is. That's so I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm most active on Instagram. I'm not that active on Facebook because I've connected my Facebook to my Instagram. So if I post on my Instagram, it's automatically post on my Facebook. So I'm not
It goes
that
to Facebook.
active. Yeah, I'm not that active on Facebook, but I'm more active on Instagram. And I have Twitter, but I don't really know.
About Twitter.
I'm not. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Then what again? Yeah, yeah, I have a YouTube account, but I don't post that much. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
basically, I'm mostly on Instagram.
There. Instagram. Yes, Instagram. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Right. So we are starting to wrap up the session.
Okay.
So guys, his handle has been put up on the screen. Anie Greatman on Instagram as well as Facebook. Now, somebody might have a question. Okay, so now I am learning video editing. I'm learning how to do some animation, 3D. I'm learning how to create some special effects or VFX effects, all that. How can I get jobs? How can I showcase my portfolio? Now, so I'd like you to, in answering that, I'd like you to tell us, use yourself as an example. We know that you've worked on quite a number of projects for celebrities. Davido, Buju Basketmouth, Joeboy, and a few other persons. How did that connection happen? So use that example to speak to newbies who are worried about how they can get jobs and how they can show their portfolio to the world.
Okay. So basically, just have an account. First of all, learn the thing first. Learn like master your skills. Then there's no level where you say, okay, at this point, I know I am good, so let me start posting my works. As you are doing it, just post the processes, post and like keep posting, and if you can tag people. And there's this guy, Creed. He said that when he used to do his stuff, I used to like tag so many people that they might act as though they don't see it, but they are seeing it again. But you can reach out to people, tell them when you know how to do editing. Reach out to people, say I can do this. First of all, don't have the money in your mind that okay, I'm doing this to get money. Because if you're doing it to get money, it will limit you in a whole lot of stuff than if you're doing it not for the money. Because when you're doing it not for the money, you are basically being driven by passion, and you will learn more, you collaborate more, you work with people more than if you are doing it for money. Because if they can't pay you, you can't do the job, and you learn more when you are doing the actual job on the field. You don't learn. You can learn on your own, like because how I used to do before when I started, I watch a video, either I watch a tutorial or I see something on a movie. I call my brother. We use our phones and we shoot and we try to recreate the effect we saw. You can learn that and get exactly what you want. But when you are on an actual job, yeah, it's different because they'll be like, okay, change it. This is how they want it, and it's not according to how you want it. So you learn more on the field. So try and do as much free things as you can. I know most people don't like hearing this working for free, but that's the golden rule if that word actually exists. But that's like the golden rule. Do as much free stuff. And the reason why you are doing free stuff is not because you just want to do free stuff, but you want to get as much exposure as you can. Because the more work you do, the better you get. And the better you get, and the thing is that as long as you are good, you cannot be hidden. As long as you are good and you're posting your works, you're telling people about your work,
Sure.
people will notice you, people will get to. And once you start doing a work for somebody and the person likes it, and someone will come and be like, ah, who did this video for you? They'll be like, okay, it's this guy. Oh yeah, connect me with the guy. Basically, yeah, it's recommendations you get. And also like on your own self, do as much video
Yeah.
as you can, like do stuff for people, even if it's for free. If they choose to pay you, good, but that shouldn't be like the goal. Like try as much as possible as you can to be exposed in the field and do as much work as you can. Then as long as you are good, people will find you. That's what the thing. Because like how I got here is basically based on recommendations. I did something for somebody, the person liked it, posted it, tagged me, someone else saw it, called me. Before you know,
Recommended you.
like the more work I do, the better I get. So each of my work gets better and better. And also like watch movies depending on
Better, yeah.
what you want to be doing. You get what you want to be doing. If you want to be doing stuff for films, watch films that pertain to that. Not that you want to be doing visual effects of house explosions and you're going to go and watch African magic that they are just doing juju from beginning of the movie to the end, or something, or somebody's being wicked. You get yes now. So just watch movies that pertain to that. Action movies, foreign movies, Nigerian movies that pertain to that as well. So that's basically if you want to go into photo editing, also like see photographies, motion graphics, pictures, graphics, just anything that pertains to that field. Watch more of those things because the more you watch more of those things, the more it affects your creativity. Creativity, nobody was born with creativity, is learned. Because at the point you might be like, this thing is fine, it's very fine. But give yourself like a year or months or 2 months or even 2 weeks. By the time you see that, you be like, it wasn't as good at it. Well, that means your creativity juice has upgraded. So yeah.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you. That was very expansive. Guys, we've come to the end of today's session. Just before we conclude, there was a comment from Bilu that we put up. Just a second. Okay, so Bilu says, I'm starting this night on this. I like that. I like that. So thank you so much, Anie. Thank you so much. It's been fantastic having you. Thank you for compressing all of your knowledge, experience into the short 30-40 minutes. Thank you and thank you for joining us on the get into tech stage. Guys, we've come to the end of tonight's session. Today's session was on video creation, editing, and production, and a lot of things have been learned. If you are just joining this video and you skipped to this point and you're hearing me talk now, please go back to the start and begin the video. There's a lot to learn from it. Thank you so much, Anie. Guys, go follow Anie on Instagram. Just search for @Anie Greatman, and Facebook as well. Our next session is going to be this same time next week, Friday, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and we will be looking at software development. Thank you once again, Anie. Thank you guys for joining in. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.